homeschooling Grammy. I haven't said those words in a long time. I have been on a very long hiatus from doing this, so I decided that I would jump back in and do a collaboration today, and it is being hosted by Ingrid over at the Ingrid Chronicles, and the name of this collaboration is called 10 Common Homeschooling Questions. So if you're interested, stick around. I'm a little rusty. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, told you I was rusty, so more like information. There's going to be a link to Ingrid Chronicles, the Ingrid Chronicles homeschool channel down in the description box. There will also be a link to the playlist, and there will be other homeschoolers that are taking part in this collaboration. So let's move on. Question number 1. Do homeschoolers get sick days? Sure. Yeah, I mean, not very often. I have to be pretty sick. My granddaughter has to be pretty sick, but yeah, absolutely. Sometimes we do get sick days. I mean, we're human. Yes, we do. All right, on to question number 2. How do you explain to others that you homeschool? Usually how it happens is we're out somewhere, if it's during the day, and my grandchild tells them, I homeschool. There you go. I don't make a big deal out of it. If they ask me questions, fine. If they don't, it's just matter of fact, we're homeschoolers. I've been doing it for a really, really, really long time. I homeschooled all my other kids, in case you're new to my channel and you didn't know that. So it's not a big deal. Everybody has their way of doing things. We choose to homeschool. Question number 3. How does a homeschooling mom have free time? That's kind of a funny question. Free time? What's that? I have not ever had free time yet when it comes, I went from having my kids to raising my grandchild now, so free time. There's really not a whole lot of free time. And that's okay. I mean, there's things that I like to do, that I take time out to do for myself, but my grandchild's usually here. So anyways, on to question number 4. Do homeschoolers get homework? Not in this homeschool. We put in our time for homeschooling each day, and that's it. That's all she wrote. We're done. I don't want her to have homework any more than she would want to have homework. I feel like we do plenty, and homeschooling is learning all the time. Okay, so question number 5. How does a homeschooler make friends if they are not in school? Oh, I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. These are the kinds of questions that really get on my nerves now because, I've been homeschooling for such a long time. How does anybody make friends? Really, like seriously, how does anybody make friends? You don't have to be in a school setting to make friends. You can make friends in all different kinds of ways, by going to the park, by being in dance class, swimming. She's in theater, like there's zillions of different ways, and you do not need to be friends with people that are your own age either. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can. Okay, so on to question number 6. Do you need to be certified to homeschool your kids? Well, I'm only going to answer for the state that I live in and the state that I have lived in. So I've homeschooled in the state of Maryland and I've homeschooled in the state of New York. And for both of those states, the answer is no, you do not need to be certified to homeschool your kids. I can't vouch for other states. Question number 7. How do you know if you are doing too much, or not enough? Well, I pretty much go with what is going on with my grandchild. You can kind of tell, like, if you're pushing too hard or you're doing too much, you can tell, like, they get maybe even whiny or attitude-y or whatever. So sometimes you're just doing too much. Or if, for instance, things are going really, really, really quickly and you know that they understand the concepts, then, you can, give them more. And if, I'm not sure, like, there could be different aspects to this question. It could also mean, like, academically speaking, and there again, that's the beauty of homeschool. You go at the pace of your child, because every child is different. So, your child may be at a 5th grade reading level, but be right on target, like 3rd grade. Say they're in 3rd grade, then they'd be right, like, on target maybe in math at 3rd grade. So it really depends on your child. And so I don't ever think that there is too much or not enough. I think it really is based on what's best for your child and for your family. Question number 8. Do you know what you are doing when it comes to teaching your kids? I hope so. Let's see. I have 3 adult children that were all homeschooled. They are now 27, 28, and 31. They're all successful. So I hope I knew what I was doing, and I hope that I still know what I'm doing. Do I question sometimes what I'm doing? Sometimes yes. I mean, obviously homeschooling has changed quite a bit, you know, in the years that I've been doing it. But yeah, I'd like to think that I know what I'm doing. I would hope so by now. Question number 9. How do you know what to teach? Okay, so in the state of New York, they actually send you tons and tons of paperwork. Such fun stuff to do, but there's all kinds of paperwork that they send, and in the paperwork they tell you the subjects that they want you to cover for each year, and also they get more specific in other areas of what needs to be taught before a certain grade level. So for this state, that's how I know, but I also go ahead and tailor it to the interests of my grandchild. So like in science, I mean, you know, they just say you have to cover science. So like she really loves animals. She wants to be a veterinarian. And so we've been doing zoology, tons of study on, she watches tons and tons of veterinarian shows. And so, you know, our focus for science is in that direction. So it's not as specific, but there are some things in the state of New York that they say, okay, you need to teach, you know, this, and this before a certain grade. So I guess it depends on your state for that as well. Okay, on to the last question. Number 10, how many days a week do you homeschool? Okay, so I have it on the books 5 days a week, but we don't always do 5 days a week. And technically we tend to homeschool all year round. So I don't sweat it too much. If there's a week that there's a lot of stuff going on, I don't sweat it if we only get 3 days of school in that week, or even sometimes 2 days of school that week, because we are learning all year round. And especially with reading and math, we pretty much don't take a break in those areas because I don't want her to lose any skills. So on my plans, most of the time I have us planned for 5 days a week, but you know, I'm not a stickler. It's not that big a deal. Okay, everyone, that's a wrap. I hope you really enjoyed this collaboration. Thanks so much, Ingrid, over at the Ingrid Chronicles for hosting this collab. Make sure that you check out the playlist down below. Make sure that you check out Ingrid's channel. I will have a link to both of those down in the description box, and I will be talking to you again soon. This was kind of cool. It's been a while. Take care, God bless, and talk to you later.